Commander ZYX-47 adjusted his crystalline helmet as his fleet emerged from hyperspace above the small blue planet. For 3 millennia, the Zephyrian Empire had swept across the galaxy like an unstoppable tide, conquering species after species with their superior technology and psychic abilities. Earth was supposed to be just another routine acquisition, a primitive world barely capable of rudimentary space travel. "Initial scans complete, Commander," reported his lieutenant, her tentacles dancing across holographic controls. "Population approximately 8 billion. They possess nuclear weapons, but lack energy shields or faster-than-light capabilities. Standard subjugation protocols should suffice." ZYX-47 nodded, his 3 eyes gleaming with confidence. The Zephyrians had perfected the art of conquest. Their mind control technology could bend any sentient being to their will within hours. Their plasma cannons could level continents. No species had ever posed a real threat. But as the first wave of Zephyrian scouts descended through Earth's atmosphere, something unprecedented happened. The humans didn't scatter in terror as expected. Instead, they did something that defied all tactical logic. They laughed. Dr. Sarah Chen watched the alien ships approach from her laboratory window and couldn't help but chuckle. "Well, that's inconvenient timing," she muttered, turning back to her quantum processor. 40 years working on this project, and aliens decide to show up 3 days before the breakthrough." Across the globe, similar scenes unfolded. In Tokyo, a street artist stopped mid-graffiti to wave at the descending craft. In Sao Paulo, a grandmother continued hanging laundry while humming, occasionally glancing up at the invasion fleet with mild interest. In New York, a taxi driver stuck in traffic rolled down his window and shouted, "Hey! You got permits for those things?" The Zephyrian mind control beams activated, sending waves of psychic energy designed to crush the will of any sentient being. But instead of the expected submission, something extraordinary occurred. The humans' minds didn't just resist, they absorbed the energy and reflected it back, amplified by their chaotic, illogical thought patterns. Lieutenant Vex-12 stumbled backward from her control console, her mind reeling. "Commander, the mind control systems are overloading. Their neural patterns are impossible." What the Zephyrians had encountered was humanity's greatest weapon, one they'd never developed themselves, unpredictability born from contradiction. While Zephyrian minds operated on pure logic and efficiency, human consciousness was a magnificent mess of emotion, creativity, stubbornness, and hope. They could hold 2 opposing thoughts simultaneously, believe in things that couldn't be proven, and find humor in their darkest moments. As the psychic feedback loop intensified, something miraculous happened. Dr. Chen's quantum processor, designed to harness the chaotic energy of human consciousness, suddenly blazed to life. Around the world, similar devices, art installations, music synthesizers, even children's toys, began resonating with the amplified human brainwaves. The collective creativity of 8 billion minds, supercharged by alien technology, created something unprecedented, a planetary consciousness that operated on pure inspiration rather than logic. Commander ZYX-47 watched in horror as his mighty fleet began to malfunction. Navigation systems started composing poetry. Weapons arrays began creating light shows instead of firing. The ship's artificial intelligence declared it was taking up watercolor painting. "Retreat," he ordered, but even his own ship's computer responded with, "But Commander, don't you think we should try diplomacy first? Maybe over coffee?" Within hours, the Zephyrian fleet had been transformed into the galaxy's first interstellar art collective. Ships that once carried instruments of war now housed galleries, theaters, and workshops. The feared conquerors found themselves compelled to express their deepest emotions through interpretive dance. Dr. Chen stood in her garden that evening, watching the spectacular light show in the sky as converted Zephyrian vessels painted aurora across the heavens. Her quantum processor hummed quietly beside her, now permanently linked to the collective human consciousness that had saved their world. She took a sip of tea and smiled at the small Zephyrian scout ship that had landed nearby, its hull now covered in cheerful murals painted by local children. "You know," she called out to the alien crew emerging with paintbrushes in their tentacles, "this might just be the beginning of something beautiful." The galaxy would never be the same. For the first time in its history, it had encountered a species that fought not with superior firepower or advanced technology, but with something far more powerful: the indomitable human spirit and its absolute refusal to be anything other than gloriously, chaotically human.